Hello, vanakkam. This disastrous corona. After its outbreak, everyone has started rolling. We think there's only one EPS as Chief Minister for Tamil Nadu, but now you can find a EPS in every district and every village. Now they are the lawmakers. The SI, the inspector, the collector, and we the people have become scapegoats for them. Day by day, more people are losing lives to corona. But a few weeks back, our CM said corona will end in 3 days, and now he says only God knows when this pandemic will end. And he conveniently takes off the burden from his shoulder. But there is another virus worse than corona. It is the police around us. I'm not saying everyone, but a few, the perverted ones. For an example, in 2018, an incident shook all of us. Young couple Raja and his pregnant wife were riding a two-wheeler. The police officer named Kamraj stopped them for not wearing a helmet. Raja answered him and moved on. The police officer followed him vigorously as though Raja had escaped after pickpocketing. Police officer Kamraj kicked his bike and the pillion rider. Raja's pregnant wife fell down and breathed her last. When he faced public wrath, with no choice left, a case was charged on him. He was behind bars only for a few days. A month back, this SA Kamraj got a posting in Nagapattinam. This is the punishment that the government gives for killing a pregnant woman. Then another incident in Coimbatore. It was a crowded place and the police officers asked a couple to shut down their shop. Their son, a minor boy, interrupted them and officers started beating him with cane so hard, and his shirt can be seen torn in that video. The mother keeps begging them to stop beating her son. The question here is, how can you be so heartless? Don't you have a family? Police are given the power to keep the lockdown intact. But how does it allow you to beat a minor? Even if he had said anything wrong, will you do the same to your son? Can't you hear that mother's pleading voice? We don't know what had happened to that boy till now. Then the Polachi case, where a group of men kidnapped, assaulted, and raped many young girls. They were not mishandled by inserting baton into the anus because, unlike violating the lockdown time, this is not a grave offense to them. Similarly, Kasi from Nagarkoil, who took videos of women and blackmailed them, was also not given any of these punishments because it is not as serious as a crime like violating the lockdown. According to them, one of the most serious crimes was allegedly by keeping the shop open in evening in violation of lockdown restrictions at a village named Sathankulam in Thuthukudi by Benix and Jayaraj. Police sees this lockdown violation by Jayaraj and Benix as a more serious crime than the Polachi and Nagarkoil cases. Benix's mother, Selvarani, says his shirt and lungi was full of blood. We already gave him 3 sets to change. Then they asked for colored shirt instead of the white ones. I gave them a rose colored shirt, and that shirt was also soaked in blood. It is now in our house. Just by listening to this audio tape sends a shiver down our spine. This mother and her brother had gone to the station and begged them, but it was all in vain. Police have locked the station and 10 members have beaten them, including the friends of police. They took him to the station at 7 p.m. in the evening and thrashed both of them till 1:30 a.m. in the midnight. Their cries were not heard just by those standing outside but the entire town. Mrs. Selvarani, not able to bear her husband and son's cries, kept begging and said, "No one is helping us out." Not even one person involved in this brutal act showed any mercy to them. What crime did they do to go through this inhumane act? Do you know that there are hundreds of people without food during this lockdown? You are getting a government salary to keep the lockdown intact. Some are genuinely working, but not all. And we, the people, are witnessing both of these kinds. If you ask anyone what is the worst of the two, corona or police brutality, undoubtedly one would say the latter. Mother Selvarani said that they were asking for lungi after lungis because it became wet of blood. She pleaded to these officers, fell on their legs to leave her husband and son so that she could take them to the hospital, but they all turned a deaf ear. Do you even know the meaning of humanity? Who gave you this authority? Look at the United States of America. After a white police officer killed a black man by kneeling on his neck, the government couldn't withstand the wrath of the public. But here, they know they can easily escape. EPS says that the father died because of chest pain and the son because of breathlessness. They can easily blame it on corona and have announced that they are giving 10 lakh each and a government job to his family as compensation. This is how they value the life of these two people. Imagine if the family had killed or said that they will do something to the police and offered to give the same compensation. Will they accept this? They were beaten till 1:30 a.m. in the midnight and the brutality is unimaginable. His sister says, "My brother had a chest full of hair, but tufts of hair were pulled off from his chest." What crime did he do? Is he a serial murderer? Just because the shop was kept open for another extra 5 minutes, this father and son went through an unimaginable punishment. What kind of people are these officers? An unethical doctor is also involved in it. I am telling this from my heart. This doctor and his family will never prosper in their lives. He has mentioned in the medical certificate small bruises at his back. He will go to hell. Sorry, he doesn't deserve any respect. Next, they took him to the magistrate at 2 a.m. in the midnight. Owing to corona, the magistrate did not even check at them if they were alive or not, but he remands them. We need to understand how law works. Once, a case was filed on us by the governor of Tamil Nadu and I was arrested for it, but the judge in the Egmore court released me. They went to the High Court. Judge Mr. Anand Venkatesan said, "If you think that the person arrested has committed any crime that deserves a punishment for less than 7 years, then he cannot be remanded now." And he also mentioned in the order to send the notice to all police stations in Tamil Nadu, and it was there in all stations in 2019. As per the order, everyone, including the SP, SI, inspector, should all be arrested because they did not respect the order given by the respectable High Court. They have arrested the father and son on their own without complying to any law. This place is Sathankulam. This took place in Sathankulam, next to it Sri Vaikuntham, 20 kilometers away, and the other side is Tiruchendur, which is just 15 kilometers away. And then you have Thoothukudi, which is closer to it. But they took him to Kovilpatti at 4 a.m. in the morning, which is closely 1 hour and 45 minutes journey far, and there is no question about it till now. And the doctor in the prison who has checked them has written in the report gluteal region multiple marks present. This means his anus has multiple marks because of beating, and he also has a mark on the right leg below the knee. This is for Benix. The same has been written for Jairaj also. He has several marks and has asked them to bring them the next morning since he has diabetes and pressure. We have mentioned this exclusively only in Nakkheeran. Firstly, the government should feel ashamed. Leave alone that the SP has said that they died of chest pain and EP has given rupees 10 lakh each. But what are we going to do about these two lost lives? That SI who has beaten them to death used to claim, I am a Komban in the local language. And if I take Lati in my hands, I will not stay away from sparing your anus. Now, Komban in the local usage means a serial murderer. How can you even allow a man who claims to be a murderer to function as a police official? This means you are encouraging him to do it, right? And how can you spare him even after all these protests by the traders? Even the traders are risking their lives and doing business, right? They are doing this for our people, right? And you have killed two of them brutally with no mercy at all. For their thirst of blood, if only the father had died. I am not justifying. We could at least breathe a little saying that anyway he is old. But you've killed both the father and the son. Don't you all should feel ashamed for this brutal murder? Not just Tamil Nadu, throughout India. These lockdown deaths have always been planned murders. Thoothukudi police has its own history. We have witnessed what had happened 2 years ago in Sterlite protest. They killed 13 people brutally, especially where they shot a girl's mouth for speaking against them. They claim themselves to be heroes, whereas they are the slaves of the Sterlite company. Police killed particularly the people who were pointed out by the Sterlite men. They not only lost those 13 people, but they're still running from pillar to post for justice. All they asked are their rights, and hence these consequences. Thoothukudi police till day claims this to be an heroic act. If they had punished the police who fired them from the top of the van and the one who was carrying a gun in a two-wheeler and shot the passerby, this incident would not have happened today. But we also have people supporting them. The only relief as of now is that Madurai High Court has come forward to look into this case. They've asked to appoint 3 doctors for postmortem with other conditions and rules for social distancing during the procession. These are also mentioned in that order. The toughest job we have now is to protect people from police, from few policemen. When asked about Sterlite killing, EPS said he got to know it through a TV channel. And we have how many such EPSs all over in the name of combating corona. We are in such a condition. Kerala has controlled corona by drawing a strong border, allowing no one to get inside the state. But look at our government. I don't want even to get into that now. These two murders should be given justice in such a way that people will get confidence in law and not just by compensating with money or offering a job, which will only encourage other officers to continue doing this brutality. Importantly, those officers in Sathankulam who were in duty at that time, the doctor who issued a false certificate, and all other officers associated with them should be given lifetime imprisonment. It is not my personal appeal, but it is the appeal of our people and traders. Thank you.